Hello, everyone. Welcome to another live trading session. You're already used to this Tuesday sessions. Good morning, good morning. No sound. No, there is sound, but I initially wanted everyone to join and then we can start. All right. There is sound, no worries. So, how is everyone doing? I cannot complain, honestly, because yesterday was quite a good day. It was quite a good day for trading. Yeah, sound it's all right. I double check now. So, let's start. I'm not eager yet to get in any long positions. Um, I'm already risk-free from the trades that I took because first take profit hit, you're at monthly open and at quarterly open. And that's an area where I don't want to touch the price action. I just want to observe how the price action will develop here. So I'm not touching it. All right. I still expect, as long as we sit on the other side of a trend line here, like you see, that the market will just dump further. So I'm expecting something like this. And then the moon boys will ask me, well, if you expect a dump, why don't you short? Because I'm short from the top and I don't want to short equilibrium. If you read my articles or if you know how I am trading, I teach you that you never want to fiddle in the middle and you don't want to get trades in the equilibrium zone. Yeah. Most of the trades should come in deep premium or deep uh, deep discount. All right. Exactly when the people are just starting to FOMO to call to the moon. All right. Let's finish off uh, with the administrative matters, how I call them. If you didn't manage, please to go on YouTube and like, retweet, and comment, or at least like and comment. It helps a lot with the algorithm. Yeah, I posted a link down there. Please go and comment and like. I know not too many people want to retweet, but at least put a comment like good morning, stuff like that. It helps a lot with the algorithm. Yeah. And now we can actually start trading because I see only about 14 people and we have more than 150 here, 130, about 200 slowly coming in. All right, let's dig into it. So I posted. Let's start with Bitcoin actually. Yeah, Bitcoin. Yesterday I took some shorts. I explained that 69,999. It's a really good area for hopping into shorts for me, and I will hop into shorts. And I did took some shorts there. If we go on a 4 hour, you will understand why that was a very good area. This is my main scenario for a bearish AMD with a previous week high sweep and the 3 drives here on low time frame. That was an excellent entry, and the trade had to be taken. Now, intermediate support. What I'm expecting it's a sweep of this equal lows in the 70.6, like 706. That's usually a sweet spot where the price uh, it's sniping, yeah, like sniping an entry. We have multiple equal lows, but essentially what I want to show you is that on a daily time frame, yeah, we have Sunday low and Friday low. So we created about 3 equal lows here. On Ethereum, it's way more obvious. But you'll observe that we created equal lows at the weekend low, all right? So it's very important because usually the weekend lows are rarely untapped, meaning that market will not leave the equal lows on the table for too much time. Okay, I think this should be the previous day low. If I'm not wrong, daily previous day low. Yeah. What we can get here on a low time frame is that we can get another AMD with this consolidation, and I think that's the Asia low here. I'll check it out in a second. There we go. Yeah, Asia low with New York PM low. So there is a high probability to sweep again the lows here and have something like this. Take the lows, depending on the reaction that we'll have. Then reclaim the quarterly and previous day low, go into 69,700, and then I short again. So I'm aiming to short again this area here. Right here. I'm looking for something like that on low time frame. And as I explained earlier, I'm still expecting for lower. If we look at these three drives here, where I took the short, that's the main reason. Low time frame confluence with a high time frame location. Standard deviation. There we go. And you can see that standard deviation lies exactly at the equal lows that I was pinpointing earlier. So 66,000, it's my main area where I would like to take profits. And then I will need to reassess. All right. It's very important. For the moment, I'm just enjoying my shorts. They are risk-free. I'm not going to take any other short, maybe only if we pump into 69,700 and we give that bearish retest. Or maybe, who knows, into that previous week high sweep. So this is intraday trading planning, all right? It's not something like high time frame planning. As for the high time frame, all right. As for the high time frame, I would look for 71,999. All right. That's the area that I would look for on a 4 hour to 12 hours time frame. Because that's essentially, if you zoom out a little bit, you will see we have golden pocket in confluence with the key horizontal and the SFP of this key pivot high, which created mainly the pivot low here. So that's the main area where I would look for to put more risk on the table, like 1% swing short. As for the longs on a high time frame, I will not long anything else than the previous week low or previous month low. I'm speaking about this 4-hour FEG here since February, since we left it there. And we are in April, so we had 1 month of front running and creating colos at that pivot low. It's already absurd, the fact that we are just front running it. All right. And I'll not take anything else than here. There is one more aspect in the market. If you observed lately that if the market is front running a level, what usually happens is that you don't want that level anymore. Yeah, it might sound off and say, well, what the fuck is he speaking about? He's waiting for that level for 1 month and then all of a sudden he doesn't want the level anymore. Yeah, it might be the case that if we just go here and we don't see a reclaim of this previous pivot low here at 65,000, then most likely we'll go for the 62,300. So I'll just aim to play my range. It's insanely profitable. I have to confess, insanely profitable. The win rate on this range has been through the roof, and I'm really grateful for the results that I had here. Yeah, I'm really happy and grateful for that. Now let's shape up a low time frame plan. So long Bitcoin, 15 minutes. I'll take a long if I see an AMD forming here, a sweep of the 68,000 and reclaim. And then I will try to short 69,700. Those are the first two setups that I aim to take. All right. Come on, guys. 26 likes, 26 comments. Once again, last time I ask you, please go retweet, comment if you didn't manage to do that. Yeah, you can put good morning or anything, stuff like that. Let's get the algo running. 69,700 short, 68,200 long for a potential AMD. But be careful because I don't expect the price to get past this bearish trend line. So I see something like this rejecting, yeah, here. And I don't want to touch the price action here, as I mentioned at the beginning of the session, because we are exactly at the quarterly open and monthly open. And this is not an area where you want to put your capital on the line. All right. It's very important to understand when to put capital on the line and when not to put capital on the line. It's insanely important. Uh, that solely thing will save you lots of money from the stop losses. All right. Now let's go on Ethereum. Yesterday I did manage to take some nice trades here at the previous week high rate. I had some pissed off people because we're saying that I didn't mention the live that I'm short. I did mention live that I'm short. The fact that I don't say my stop loss, my entry, and take profit is because you are like Pavlovian. A lot of people they are in sort of a like Pavlovian kind of used to, because all this influencer thing and all this the way that people are taught, they think that the spoon feeding is the correct way to do this. Let me tell you something. When I was not that profitable, I was thinking the same. I was thinking that I need the proper entry, stop loss, and break even from stop loss, take profit, and entry from someone that it's really good at trading. You will F it up even with the stop loss, take profit, and entry. Trust me. You will screw it up. Even the best trade, even if you take trades from Tom Hoggart or whatever, even if you take a trade from him, he will tell you for 1 month you will not manage to be profitable. Because that's not the way, and that's not where the problem is. You need to understand that. The problem is in the way that you're trading, executing, and in your psychology. So if you don't have these things, exactly what I'm trying um, to mentor you guys. Yeah, I'll put the volume a bit higher. There you go. This is exactly what I'm trying to mentor you to understand the psychology behind why the stop loss there, why the take profit there, and so on. You don't need stop loss, take profit, and entry. No, it's full. The Twitter and everything is full of that. So I won't do that because it's not required and you don't need that. All right. Enough ranting. I see some questions already running up on Discord. So I took two shorts yesterday. I took one here at this pump. We had lots of good news coming in here, and I saw that the spot was offloading really, really massively. And the next one was essentially a 78.6 retest. Who knows the shark, the power of a shark knows. No need to introduce you to the shark level. I'm still on the 0.5 area right now because I don't want to go to with too much risk on the table. The environment is really, really easily manipulated by the headlines and what do you see around you. And I'm not willing to put too much risk. And I don't need to, because imagine a trade like this one. Yeah, right now sits at 16R and the next one sits at 6R. So only with one of these trades you can easily make like 3% and stuff like that. So you don't need more risk. That's always that's something that I'm always telling to my students. You don't need more risk. You just need to get better and have better entries and plan better. You don't need more risk, because some of you might think, well, why to risk 0.5% when you can risk more and make more money? That's not the way that it works. And hopefully slowly you will understand that. All right. So what I would try to take again, if I get the chance on Ethereum, yeah. Well, definitely, I think I'll look for 61.8. This is a clear distribution wyckoff going on here. Sorry, let me drink some water. Sorry. So this is a clear distribution wyckoff going on. If I'll get a retest of 61.8 in the deep premium zone, I'll look for some shorts. But until then, I'm not willing to take anything, and I'm just trailing my shorts towards the equal lows, because this is an internal liquidity range. If you go on 1 hour, you'll understand that what's going on here is just a range. That's all. We took the highs of the range. Now, most likely the price will go for the lows of the range at the equal lows at the $2,000 level. Pretty simple stuff. There, indeed, I will try to look for longs. I already posted that on my plans. I shaped up the 1 hour to 4 hour time frame plans on the article which I posted yesterday. Yeah, this is the area which I'm going to hunt for longs. If we go on a 4 hour, you will observe we have the first area where I was looking for longs here at the previous week high rate. Next area is 2.2K, and the last one is 2.3. But I don't think the price will go that high to the previous month high and the retest of this M top. The price is not looking that great. The price action is very good for profits. Yeah, I will look at the traditional market right now after I finish with Ethereum. Yeah, so I'll try to get some longs at 2000, some shorts already on here, and nothing in between. I'll not try to chase anything in between. Let's go and look at ES and then Nasdaq. Let's go on a weekly time frame to see what the heck do we have here. Let's hide the levels. Let's put some anchored volume profile here. There you go. So yesterday I was speaking about the fact that most likely we will hit a ceiling here. I'm looking for shorts mainly. I'm looking for adding to my shorts here on S&P and Nasdaq, because I do think that will continue the dump further, and that will automatically drag the crypto market with it. Yeah. Now we are already fighting with the previous day high and Monday high, as you see here. Let's go on 1 hour time frame to see what we have here. Nice picoto. I don't have yet a clear reasoning to short, but as you can see, the previous big high rate, it's already there. So there is already a setup running and going on. I wanted the Monday candle to close before I take any shorts. So if I'd be to think about a short position, I already have a confirmation. And this is a very good setup, which I'm teaching in the Capo. It's previous big high rate with confluences of divergence, and then 1 hour, like a high time frame candle close below that pivot. So I don't think necessarily that we'll retest the previous week high. Let me check with an anchored volume profile here, this little area. Now let me check a VWAP from this pivot high. Yeah, I think this peak will give a nasty rejection. I think it's 0.5 there. Yeah, there you go. But in the same time, yeah, I saw this kind of candle, so no, I still think that it will down further. I will try a first short like this here because the risk to reward it's absolutely great. You can get at least a 10 risk to reward if the thesis is confirming. And then I will give another shot at the previous day high rate, and that can mean that we can have a Thursday, the high of the week model, and not a Tuesday. So if we look at the weekly models, then we can already consider that we might get that Tuesday, the high of the week model. Yeah. We might be a little bit too early, but I'm willing to give a 0.5 shot. And then I'll be looking to short around here at 24,700. But definitely this trend line has held pretty nicely in the past, and you can see the multiple rejections which we had. It's a downtrend channel, and they are very profitable to trade if you know how to do it. As for the S&P, exactly the same stuff. I'm willing to take some shorts. I had a limit short order at 6,690. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm a little bit too bullish on this one, but I want to see a tap of that area. You can see we have a week which wasn't retested, so sort of a 50% GAN retest of this week, maybe SFP of this 6,650, and then or even SFP of the week up there. But same scenario, I'm looking for some shorts. Let's look a little bit at gold. Gold. Silver, this one, not gold. So silver, who remembers, I posted a long setup playing the internal liquidity range here, right at the reclaim of this pivot low. Right now it's fighting with this trend line. Nothing we can do. It's there. I can't say that we have a high probability setup running on right now because we don't. So I'd prefer to wait. For example, if you want to dig into some longs, then I would wait for the SFP of all those equal lows in the 78.6 to 706. You can see we have lots of equal lows here, and then we can take it and then pump again. Gold has a very good setup running here. So I was exactly pinpointing this. If I get an SFP of this pivot low here at 4,385, why? Because look at this one. The area, it's insanely good. I mean, the confluences there are so good. If I get a tap of this flat bottom here in the 61.8, I will look for some longs, and the risk to reward it's pretty good if you manage to get a good entry here. Really nice setup going on here. But first, I need to wait for the market to give me that one. Let's see what Bitcoin is doing. Then we can look at some shitcoins. But I'm not a fan of them. I have to tell you that. Tao, no, this is not Tao. It's Solana. So Solana rejected exactly from the level which I was looking to short, but I didn't short it. I had a long here on this megaphone pattern, and I pinpointed this area as a take profit. It hit perfectly, you can see. But I didn't took the short, as I was already exposed in shorts in Ethereum and Bitcoin. I do think that lots of you, yeah, I saw lots of you already took the short, so that's all right. I'm good with the fact that the analysis followed perfectly. Tao, same stuff. You can see we rejected exactly at the same area which I pinpointed previously, 329. We had a nice setup here, a 5R, a 3 drives with a 5 risk to reward. It's just ranging. There is no breakout, so I do think that Tau will eventually go back down. What do we have here? Fetch AI, Aster. Man, what the heck is this? That's that's a big week. So many, so many equal lows. Oh my God, no. I'm not going to put too much pressure or too much money on the line, guys, with these shit coins. Let's go on the USDT, on the big boy. USDT, on the USDT dominance. Yeah, I'm posting my plans. USDT dominance. So the main area which I was looking at 7.8. I spoke about it yesterday when I was framing, when I was doing the live, and also I posted on the subs article. That on the subs article, I'm trying to put everything together. You have all the plans for Bitcoin, for Ethereum. You have all the plans for USDT, for gold, S&P, and so on. I'm shaping up my plans for the week. So 7.8 is the main area of support on USDT dominance. We are ranging, and we have a sort of an AMD with the previous day low, if you look closely. Yeah, really nice close, quite a strong one. As long as we stay above 7.8 and 7.6, there is a high probability for these equal highs at 8.6 to come. And if we get that one, imagine what will happen to crypto. Yeah. And I'm seeing my job is to create confluence when I'm looking at a high time frame. So USDT dominance has a probability to go to 8.6. Then Nasdaq and S&P, they are hitting resistance here, channel highs, all right, and a big key horizontal, key S&R. Then Bitcoin and Ethereum, they have a potential AMD going on here, reclaimed below previous week high. We can easily look at 64,000 lower, level by level. You know me, I'm not trying to imply that the market will go anywhere. I'm just trying to trade it. So there are quite some confluences that are saying we can go into the range highs here on USDT dominance. We can dump a little bit on S&P here, or maybe in the 61.8. Sorry. And we can dump to take the equal lows on Ethereum, like $300 more. We have some confluences going on. Guys, I'm not going to look into shitcoins, honestly. I'm not going to take any shitcoins besides the one that I'm showing you here. Why? Because the win rate on this shitcoins it was really low. They don't follow the plans. They don't follow normal price action. They don't have a logic behind um, the price action. You cannot go with tight stop losses like 5-15 minutes trades. You need to go with swing trades, and then even with a swing trade, it might fuck around in your stop loss for days. And for a 2-to-1, 3-to-1, I mentioned that last time also. Yeah, for a trade like this, it takes you 3-4 days for a 2-to-1 risk to reward, while you can take a trade like this and you make 5-to-1 or stuff like that in less than few hours. So I'm not willing to put too much weight on the shitcoins in this week at least. And I'm going to highlight you why also on the others chart. I'm still expecting for others to dump at 158,000 to retest this initial week to the downside, or even to sweep this week into a Wyckoff scenario. Yeah, we can have a Wyckoff going on here and something like that. Yeah, so either 78.6, either the pivot low here. There is no reasoning for me to start hunting shitcoins. And the risk to reward and the win rate has been really good in the past 4 weeks with Bitcoin and Ethereum, so I'll just stick with them. It was profitable. Why I should change? Why I should do anything else? Yeah. I mean, look at the shorts. I took a short here, then I took another one here. We managed to take a long exactly here at the lows. So you tell me if it was profitable to trade this range. Yeah, I did took this long, then we took a short here. So you tell me if this was profitable. This is what we traded. So learn where to put your energy towards what. I should start looking for shitcoins, or I should start looking at the ones that are having a low probability scenario. How do you learn how to take profits? Well, that's a big subject and you cannot just explain it in one session. You need to learn about structure, you need to create a plan. So you tell me if this was profitable. All right, let's go back on 550 minutes on the previous plan here. Let's look at the potential DRI, DR on, maybe we can get an S&P position. It's compressing, we don't have anything else. We don't have too much. I was expecting a confirmed DRI, DR, but we have nothing for the moment. So even though it's Tuesday and we should expect a good trading environment, you can see that London session doesn't have too many things to offer because we had a big dump in the Asia session. It already played out, and now we just have to wait for the New York session. But at least we managed to make the plans. We managed to shape everything. Which one was the 51%? This one. 78.6. Nice. A sweep of the 78.6 level. Not bad. XPL. XPL, I think it was the fastest money I did in 2026. It was the fastest take profit that I had in 2026. So my plan remains the same. I'm not willing to FAFO around here. If you take a fib from this pivot low to this pivot high, I'm trying to isolate the range, nothing else, and then you put the 0.5. Actually, you can take again. When you look at 0.5 and ranges, take again. Yeah, all right, there you go. So you can see the price sits exactly at 0.5. That's the area where you don't want to touch the price action. If you want to take anything, like aim into the longs, you look for the quarter low, yeah, the 75 lows. Then, if you want a short, you look at the 25, like the higher quarter of it. But for the moment, we don't have anything. We can have an initial bounce here. That's why I was mentioning a potential AMD. So if we get a power of 3 here, you can see we are just retesting this wicks. We can have a bounce and then retest the short reload zone once again here, then pump again into this area, and then we dump further. All right. So this is what I would look for today. Let's save the plan, delete, 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 delete. How do you put the anchor volume profile? There are tons of tutorials there. I also explained in one post on Twitter. You try to define the ranges in which you're trading. For example, if I want to define this specific range, you can see. Yeah, so this one is looking pretty good, honestly. With short around here. Even a bit front running, I think it will happen. But Ethereum, it's easily manipulated, so like it puts big wicks to the upside and to the downside. Yeah, so these are the areas which I'm trying to long and short, depending on what I will get. So no limit orders because the price can easily nuke straightforward. Okay. This is the area where I try to short. Dump them in the VIP. Longs or shorts. Now let's go on low time frame and explain the reasoning here. Looking for an AMD. Something like this. Something like this. And then pump towards this level. Now let's go on Ethereum, on Bitcoin, sorry. It has exactly the same stuff. Yeah, we are pumping a bit, but be careful. As I told you previously, there's most likely it's a bearish retest of the daily open. Let me check out this. There you go. Let me check a fib. Yeah, you'll ask me why not take the pivot low. Well, if I want to trade waves and pivot low, pivot high, higher low, higher high, if I want to identify this higher low, I'll try to isolate this leg, right? Most of the time, the price will follow the fib from the isolated leg, not follow the fib from the whole. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. So it's really important to make the difference between those aspects. So what I'm trying here is an AMD into this low, 68,000, then something like this, and continue lower. Okay. But I would take the long, honestly, here, only if I see the price action on the other side of the trend line. So I would let it consolidate a little bit more until New York session before I take this aim, this power of 3, because there might be the risk that we just grind downtrend. We grind the downtrend. As I told you, don't trust that pump. We can grind the trend line to the downside until we get proper support, maybe around here, and we get something like that. So be careful with your confirmations. Be careful with your entries and the reasoning for your entries. I know there's a lot of beginners and a lot of people trying to learn. Maybe there's too much information for them. That's why when you're trading, I'm not necessarily in the position to give you advices, but what I would do is actually take out the noise, ignore everyone, and follow one or two good traders. Not me, because I'm stupid, not Paul. Follow one or two good traders that you think, okay, look at that, those guys. They had really nice calls. They are quite good at what they're doing, and I think it worth to learn a thing or two from them. There was a saying that you can learn even from a stone if you are wise enough. So let me get this one here. Okay, that should be all right. So this would be the trade that I would look for. Along here, maybe at the New York session. Oh, there's lots of tutorials about the power of three. Sorry. So I would like first London close, New York session open, manipulate all the lows at the New York session, get into the 61.8, bullish displacement, something like this, back, reject, and stuff like that. Okay, I'm actually going to pause this one as a limit order. SS short setup. Entry, stop loss, TP into 66,400. That's a plus 4.7 R. 7 restore reward. Okay. I don't quite care about CME gaps. I don't care about things like that too much when I'm trading. I care about structure. For me, structure and time is above everything. What trigger? Well, you can already see it. I explained it in the subs yesterday, and even on Twitter I explained. You had the 3 drives here. It was pretty obvious the fact that we will dump after that 3 drives and rejection. Actually, we can get a clean 5R here. So we have one trade, the long. I repeat, I cannot put a long limit order because that trade requires time and structure. Yeah, if you don't know what I mean, try to join today the Discord. Paul will open the session and you will understand what time and structure means. Because you will see, Paul, well, let's look for this power of 3 with Asia low and London low sweep. If we get it, sweep of the equal lows at 68,200. We get a reclaim if we get it. We also have golden pocket here, and then we can target short preload zone again for a SS short setup. This is usually what happens in a Wyckoff distribution, which we have here. All right. So it's really important to understand this aspect because a lot of people, they are just market entering positions without making a plan, without thinking, and so on. So we have one setup here, a second setup here at the highs. Then I would not necessarily take 2 longs in the same direction because it means you have one big position. So I would not necessarily go with a long on Ethereum. I would focus on Bitcoin because I already have one position. When you have 2 positions in the same direction, who can tell me if that is a good thing for your risk overall, for your plan and risk, or it's a good thing? Yeah, you think it's a good thing? No, because you have more risk in the same direction. All right. So I would take the short around here, but I wouldn't take necessarily the long because the market can straight nuke. If we get the plan which I made here on USDT dominance, and if we trigger the shorts from ES, do you think that crypto will hold? I don't think crypto will hold. Just my 2 stupid cents, but who knows? I'm retarded anyway. Doesn't mean the market will do what I plan, but usually I'm profitable with the plans I make. Indeed, sometimes I'm losing the first bus, but you know, there are more ways to skin a cat. There are more ways to skin a cat, as I'm always teaching you. There is not only one way of understanding or shaping the things. There are so many ways in which you can enter a losing bus, take a trade which you missed, and so on. There's an universal value gap at 55. Well, I don't want to speak about levels which you don't have on the table right now. We didn't even pass the previous week high. So why I should speak about 75,000? For me, it's absolutely useless to think about 75,000. It can go, yeah, but what's the benefit? What's the benefit of me thinking that the price will go there? I have absolutely no benefit to think of 80,000, 75,000, and so on. Yeah. Let's play level by level. Okay. Okay. Seems like he. What the heck? What the heck? Is the orange man speaking? What is going on? We have a bullish DR confirmed on S&P. Well, maybe I'll try a long here, but seems like news-driven week. I don't like that. Seems like news-driven, and I hate when that happens. Seems like the first short triggered this one, the 1 hour one. I'll live with the results. I mean, we'll see what we can get, but quite a quite a week on S&P. Yeah, we have core price index. Well, we made a plan. After you make the plan, what you do? You wait. You wait and wait and wait. 80%, if not 90%, I'd say, of the trading is made in the waiting. So real money are made in the waiting, not in the trading. You have to understand that. So we have about 5 setups highlighted. I don't want to get this live more than it's already right now. If you have any questions, please let me know, like requests and stuff like that. Maybe we'll look over something. So I'll give you like 1 minute to post the request. Let me get a coffee, be right back, and then we get into request. All right? All right, I'm back. Let's see if you guys have any requests. If not, we can call it a session. But as I advised at the beginning of the session, what I would do, all right? I'm not in a position necessarily to advise, but what I would do is not trade altcoins. because they are easily manipulated. You saw the week on Aster. They are taking you out fast. It's a little bit hard. All right, let's go. Pump fun. We have sort of a power of 3 here on the daily time frame, but I'm not a fan of daily trades on the daily time frame trades on altcoins because they invalidate these daily trades so fast. The overall trend is still bearish. If I would have been like 2 years ago, I would have taken these W's. But considering the environment in which we are and considering the overall context with S&P, USDT, and Bitcoin, even the best setup, it has a higher probability to fail than to succeed. What the heck is this? Well, lit, it's slowly in the short reload zone. We have lower lows and lower highs, a clear bearish downtrend. It's slowly getting in the short area. So what do you want here? To short, maybe? Yeah, maybe I'll short. Tao, I think I already have a plan made here, yeah. So, I'm willing to short a retest of 78.6, but nothing else on Tao. Hype, nothing. We took the equal highs here and then just dumped. Yes, Fanta, I'm always posting the plans on subs. I'm posting the plans of the setups, but not. It's not about spoon feeding you. It's about you learning and mentoring how to do it. Yeah, maybe I'll go with a DR long here. Who knows? But if the draw of liquidity is taken before my entry is given, usually I don't want to trade anymore because most of the times what will happen, we'll take the high, we'll take the equal highs and then dump. So it's like you will catch back a falling knife. And I don't usually want that. So let's post it. One second. Where is the DR? Three-point UR. That's not bad. But I will cancel it. I repeat, I will cancel it if it takes the highs before. Maybe S&P long limit order. Cancel it if it takes the highs first. Okay, let's hope it doesn't take the highs first. I'll go on X and read the requests if you guys have any. WCT. What the heck is WCT? Wallet Connect. Low time frame. Oh my god. You know, the altcoins are looking good until they are not looking good anymore. Yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good. We have a nice round bottom. We can have a nice spike to the upside. But as I told you, the win rate from my side towards altcoins, it was not that great. Just try to focus on Bitcoin and Ethereum for the moment if you're not that sharp. Altcoins indeed can be very rewarding. I had some nice setups with big risk to reward, but they require one shot, one bullet or two bullets. They require some tries before they succeed, because it's not that straightforward. For example, here I had a short on Tao. The first one failed at 365, and then I had to take the sweep of 370 with a deviation. And it's quite hard and frustrating, let's put it like that, because if someone wants to take the trade, he will not be able to take it. There we go, it goes for the high. He will not be able to take it with you market or chase limit order. Motherfucker. So then you don't want to post it anymore. It's like that. So I'm going to wait for the New York session and Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin mainly. That's why I want this power of three here. If it goes straight for the highs, that's even better, because this setup has a higher probability to succeed. We'll leave untapped liquidity and lots of people will just ape longs, equal lows as a target for TP1. It will be even better, in my two stupid cents, from my experience. Well, let's call it a session. We have about 4 trades, so the long one, the short second one. Then I was looking at ES. This one is already in a loss. I don't know what happened here that it pumped so straightforward in one candle. This one will be the fourth one. Let's see what New York has to offer us. Until then, protect your capital. Don't try to be a hero in the order books. Have patience for the proper setups to occur. And put the time and effort towards the grind. It's insanely important, guys. It's insanely important. If you want to be profitable, you want to work for that. And regarding for who's asking about the subscription, well, there I'm trying to give quality content and give value towards teaching you how trading is done. I put a lot of psychology there. I explain lots of things about psychology, a lot of things, because everything starts with the mistakes. The biggest profits that you're losing are because of the psychological mistakes that you are doing. So besides the fact that I'm highlighting setups, I'm highlighting areas and plans for trading, I'm actually teaching you how to think and how to create a plan, how to listen to your plans and so on. And my aim, honestly, is to create the best value subscription on Twitter. And it's already, if I'm not wrong, from what I searched, it's top 5 of everything that you saw on Twitter. And the number says that, but also if you look at the number of posts and the teachings that I'm doing, I think people had a really nice learning curve and it helped them a lot in their process. Okay. I think it goes already for the equal highs, or it creates another equal high. That would be funny. It leaves another equal high. That would be all right with me. And then let me get my retirement here, retirement setup. Let's see. Well, have a nice week, guys. We'll hear you in the New Year trading session in 4 hours from now with PJ. Well, yeah, I'm glad. And regarding the sub, the value it's observed by you, and that makes me think it's really good value because the feedback is absolutely insane, and the results of people who took it, they improved a lot. If you manage to get into Discord in 4 hours from now, PJ will start the live trading session. It will be for everyone, like public, if you are in the Discord already. All right. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hear you in 4 hours from now. Bye bye.